All right, Steve, so we're out in your soybean field here in northwest Missouri near Barnard, right?
Right.
And as you know, I'm Steve Williams with Healthy Acres LLC, and we are marketers and distributors of two different products for the farmers, Thicker Pasture and Larger Harvest. Those are both proprietary blends of liquid microbes that are used to enhance the soil. So tell me just about, when you started out this year and how you and your wife Julie decided to make a change to do things differently and how you went about that.
Well, we've, I guess, been looking for ways to do things more of a natural way, I guess, and not spend as much, to put a crop in and yet still get a good return. And so we've seen this, and we just felt like it would be something that we'd like to try. And
right. So before this year, though, you were conventional farming, right?
We were just conventional, yeah, using Roundup Ready products mostly, and some Liberty products.
And fertilizing, right?
And fertilizing,
what kind of fertilizer were you using?
Just mostly anhydrous.
Right.
We didn't really put on a whole lot of other drive.
Right. And the beans we're looking at today, where we're at, you've no fertilizers, and then you also told me no herbicides. Is that right? This year?
Right.
Yeah. So they've been. I mean, I'm impressed. What do you? I mean, how did you guys feel as you started seeing your beans come up, and as the year progressed? Kind of tell me what you thought of things.
Well, we were real pleased with the way they looked. We kind of thought, and I guess the neighbors noticed as well, that our beans looked about as good as anybody's around, just the ones they could see from the road. And
right.
And they've held their color, and they look like they had a really good stand and whatnot
right.
all season long.
And these are drilled, you were telling me, or?
Yeah, they're drilled.
And what size row and how much population were you putting on?
They're 10-inch spacings, and I was shooting for 100,000 so population.
Right. And we've been pulling some plants today and counting pods, and we're finding in the mid-60s all the way up to 100. Is that kind of what you've seen in your good ground?
Yeah, in the better ground.
Yeah.
And some of the heel ground, they were in the mid-50s.
Right. And tell me about like your weather this year. I knew it's been hot and dry, but just kind of tell the folks what you've had this year and how things have looked.
Yeah, well, we've been drier than normal, obviously, like everybody else, and we had a little rain in middle of June, and beyond that didn't rain. It rained just a very little bit in early July, and then we didn't have any again till middle of August.
Wow. And the beans continued, they kept their color and grew through the
They did. Some of the hill ground, they started to kind of show some wilt and stuff there before we got that rain.
Right. And I know we've been looking at the pods too, and just about every single place we're finding the three pods. You said you've even found some four bean pods. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so back to the product that you used, you put our microbes on with some foliar feed. Is that right?
Yes.
And when did you plant the beans, and then when did you put the product on?
The beans were planted middle of May, 16th, 17th, along in there, and it was 3 to 4 weeks later that I put the product on.
Okay, so the beans were up and going because the reason that you put it on then was because the foliar feed needed to go on the plants. Right?
Yes.
So you put that on, but otherwise this is all they've got. And then you used the foliar feed a second time in June. Is that right?
Yeah, late June, early July.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for showing us your beans. Anything else you'd like to say about just what you thought of the product, or how what your thoughts on the results of what you've seen so far?
To us, we were just excited to find a product that we could use in place of the chemical fertilizers and whatnot, and just help, I guess, to help our soil get the most out of out of it that our plants can, I guess, or the plants get the most out of the soil that they can.
Exactly, right. And you're saving money. I mean, that's the other interesting
Yeah,
thing.
and
You're
we're
not
saving
spending-
money. Yeah, that was a big thing for us too.
And then with your yields now, it looks like you're going to even be ahead of, you know, the conventional crops around you. So, yeah, that's good.
You know, and that's what we were hoping for, is to have some good results and something that we could continue using. And yeah.
Based on what you've seen so far, are you interested in using the product next year?
Yeah, we'll definitely be interested in looking at it again and using it some more.
Good. All right. Well, thank you.